Hi everyone, this is Brent Sarver from Google. We're going to be getting started in just a moment, waiting for a couple more people to join. Thank you. Perfect. Hey Tracy.
Hello.
Thanks for, sorry for the link issue. With that being said, are everyone ready on your end? Just one more moment. While we are waiting for MobileMind to join, those of you that are on the call, if you haven't noticed yet, at the bottom of the screen there is a Google short link. We have a live Google Doc that we're going to be using to take any questions for today's session on, so please feel free to go ahead and navigate there. Our contact information is there along with a place for you to answer or ask any questions you might have. Please note that the link is case sensitive, and I will have that up again in just a moment. Tracy, as long as you're ready to go, I will go ahead and kick us off.
Go for it.
Awesome. Notice we had a couple more people join, so glad to have the extra viewers. Want to go ahead and kick off today's session. My name is Brent Sarver. We'll do a quick introduction in just a moment, but from the Google for Education team, and then Tracy and her team are going to be joining us today for MobileMind. Just to kind of quickly highlight what the agenda is going to look like today. Quick introductions for both of our teams. We're going to jump into PD Package 101, why Google is working with our awesome network of PD partners to create catered, customized professional development for school districts. We're going to let MobileMind talk to you about their specific route to professional development and the unique things that they bring. And then we'll save some time at the end for any questions that you might have. Again, I'll show you that shared doc so you can know where to enter your questions there. I'll introduce myself, and then Tracy, if you want to jump in and introduce yourself right after, that'll be awesome. Again, my name is Brent Sarver. I'm a program manager for the Google for Education team. I sit on the East Coast and primarily work with school districts in the Southeast. In a nutshell, our team is here to be a support system for school districts across the country who are interested in our tools, everything from Google Apps to Chromebooks, Google Expeditions, Google Classroom, anything Google for Education related. We are here to be a support for you, but also to support our awesome network of partners, both resellers for hardware, software, and our amazing network of professional development partners such as MobileMind. So we're here to be a resource to districts and our partners so that you all out there listening can get what you need in order to help your staff and your students succeed. Tracy?
Thank you very much. As you can see here, my name is Tracy Hurley, and I'm the Director of Sales here at MobileMind. While it says Regional Director of Sales, MobileMind is a company that's working nationwide to help school districts and private schools across the country. And I have responsibility for all sales-related items as it pertains to our PD and to this offering today.
Great, thanks. So again, one more time, for those of you all who might just be joining us, this is a Google short link that you see here. It is case sensitive, and it's goo.gl, not google.com, which you might be familiar with. But please feel free, if you'd like, I'll actually jump out and let you see what that short link looks like. We will be, as you can see here, already have some questions being asked. Our contact information is there as well, but please feel free to use this space, and we'll do our best to answer your questions throughout the session, or certainly at the end of the session. I'll leave that up for just a second longer. And just one last reminder that it is case sensitive. Great. So I'd like to start off, as you might imagine, Google is a pretty data-driven company with a statistic. And I'll give you just a moment. I want you to think about, clearly today's conversation is around professional development and the importance that it plays in any type of initiative in education, especially bringing technology into the classroom in a meaningful way. But I'll give you just a moment to think about what that number might represent as it comes to, relates to professional development education. And it might not be of much surprise that 71% of teachers say that they get stressed out by the fact that there's sometimes the adoption of new initiatives, and they don't have the full professional development to support those adoptions. And while Google, we're very proud of our technology, our devices, and our software, we also understand that it's very important that it's brought into education in meaningful ways and sustainable ways. And so given the statistics, we have collaborated closely to bring together school and classroom resources like our newly revamped training center, certifications, and our innovator programs to schools across the globe. This year especially, we wanted to take it a bit further and develop a program that would help us kickstart the quality PD and training that we know that districts need in order to help their teachers speak the same technology language, and then to take that knowledge into the classroom and truly impact the learning of that their students are going to receive. So I want to take a look at just kind of how we've gone about determining what this approach should look like. Before we built out a program, we wanted to first determine what successful PD looks like. So we actually did a study with several states, 4 in particular, New Jersey, Colorado, Vermont, and Missouri, to try to get a geographically and socially diverse population with above average scores, and these were all states that had above average scores on the National Assessment of Educational Progress. One dominant common strategy was partnering with professional development organizations. So across these 4 states, they found that varied approaches to professional development, policy and implementation, including differing levels of support and control at the state level, and divergent strategies for monitoring and promoting professional development activity at the local level. But these states shared some common strategies for leveraging professional development, and you can see those that they shared were included here. So accountability, staff clearly collaborating and supporting and mentoring one another, setting clear measurable benchmarks for success, and then creating access to professional development organizations. So when it came to thinking of Google solutions, Google tools, and working with professional development partners to bring meaningful professional development to schools, we actually thought about it in a number of ways. So, and what it should look like in terms of rolling out professional development to schools. So I'll kick it over to MobileMind in just a moment, but together with our partners, we determined that the first thing we would need is phase one, and that's strategic planning, knowing that no rollout of technology is going to be successful without a lot of pre-planning and thoughtful approach toward the goals that you're setting and what implementing will look like to get there. Next, we thought about phase two, and as much as Google has some great online resources available on demand, we know that on-site training is often very key to bringing about understanding and change, and then it's great to have educators working together to come to a common understanding of the tools and resources that they're rolling out. So the second part of our professional development offerings with our partners is going to be bringing on a 2-day training to cover the fundamentals of our level 1 educator training and certification. And then last but not least, it doesn't end at the on-site. There are resources online available 24/7, but all of our PD partners and MobileMind will be working to make sure that there's post-consultation to see that we have systemic and lasting change. Never want to see any type of technology initiative leave the gate and everyone's excited, and then as soon as the training is over, it simply falls flat. So we know that follow-up is absolutely key. So with that being said, I want to kick it over. I've had the opportunity to work with Tracy and her team personally. Very excited. They are one of our premier professional development partners, and she is going to walk you through what the MobileMind solution will look like.
Thank you very much, Brent, for the very kind introduction there. Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy Hurley, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm the Director of Sales here at MobileMind. We really appreciate your time today. MobileMind is the most effective platform for professional development and technology integration, and we're excited to share with you a very special offering that we've put together with Google. I think the goal here is to help educate and cultivate your top teachers and technical users within your district or school. And while this is just one of our offerings, it's a great example of the methodologies and blended approach that we take on all of our PD offerings. We really think it's important to combine both on-site and virtual components to make a well-rounded offering that addresses all of the ongoing needs that teachers and administrators will face when they're learning technology. After that introduction, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to Amy here. She is our resident professional learning guru, and she's going to take you through the offering that we've designed specifically for Google certification.
Okay, great. Thank you, Tracy. If we could advance to the next slide, please.
Brent.
Thank you so much, Brent. Hi, my name is Amy Vitala. Like Tracy said, I'm a professional learning leader here at MobileMind. We just first wanted to kind of briefly give you the 6-month overview of our engagement timeline. Here you see during month 1, we're really setting the stage with the administrators or academic leaders in charge of the PD initiative. Our month 1 will consist of a 1-hour hangout and an overview of the MobileMind and the entire MobileMind PD process throughout the 6 months, as well as a consultation to learn more about the district and schools and teachers involved in the PD initiative. In addition, we will have a PD plan kickoff with the admin and academic leader. During month 2, we will offer a 2-day on-site training with 25 of your teacher champions, and we'll go more into detail with that in just one moment. But of course, we will meet prior to that to discuss teacher champion selections, PD goals, and on-site training. During months 2 through 5, teacher champions will engage in homework activities as well as participate in some office hours. We will offer 1-hour hangouts for the teacher champions in order to review their progress on the self-study guide and the online training center modules that Google has to offer. In addition, during those months 2 to 5, teachers at their own pace can get certified and will receive, of course, level 1 vouchers from MobileMind to actually take the Google certification exam, the level 1 exam. During month 6, after all teachers have taken the exam, we will have a 2-hour consultation with our PD administrator or academic leader contact in order to discuss further scaling and certifications for the next round of educators. Thank you so much. So as you can see here, we've got on the right a pretty concise overview of what our day 1 training will look like on site. So again, this will occur during month 2 after consultation with academic professional learning leaders. At 8:45, we will begin with team building, which is really focused on fostering creativity and risk-taking, not only amongst students in their classroom, but as also with teachers in their building, and taking risks themselves as teacher champions. We'll participate in activities to really get teachers thinking outside of the box, and we'll discuss the power of taking leaps and learning through failures. And of course, I always say there are 2 options. You either succeed or you learn. So we'll talk a lot about the value of trying and iteration, etc. At 9:30, we'll set the purpose for learning Google Apps for Education. So in addition to a brief overview of Google Apps, really the meaning behind why we're there. At 9:50, we'll engage in conversation about meaningful technology integration. Focus on the fact that it's not about the Google tools, it's about the learning. It's about the fact that Google tools can empower students and teachers in many ways. So we really want to drive home the learning aspect and the point of engaging in meaningful tech integration as opposed to a tools training. At 10:30, after our break, we will focus on the power of PLNs, and that means personal learning networks. So we really want to talk about the importance of being a connected educator and emphasize the value of being a connected tech leader. We'll talk about Google Groups. Google Plus has a lot of newer offerings like collections, and they've really beefed up the community. So we really want to focus on teachers utilizing these awesome tools within Google Plus to connect with other educators and other tech leaders. And we'll even talk about using other tools like Twitter to connect about Google Apps. At 11 o'clock is really a pulse check to see where we are, as well as goal setting and instructional coaching. So throughout our 2-day on-site training, we don't want to focus on just teaching teachers how to use the tools. We want to focus on really developing those teacher champions as instructional coaches so that we can increase adoption in our schools. At 1 o'clock after lunch, we'll begin a Google Team Challenge, which is simply a series of missions that are authentic and really grounded in problem-based learning so that teachers are actually using Google tools to complete tasks that are grounded in real life, authentic scenarios that they would encounter on a daily basis. These team challenges are gamified, and we'll talk a little more on the next slide about prizes. But throughout the competition, both during day 1 and day 2, teachers will actually receive raffle tickets throughout the completion of these to kind of make it fun and energetic, and we'll have a raffle on day 2. So that's day 1. Thank you so much. So our day 2 on-site training, of course, will begin with a recap and reflection of day 1. At 9 o'clock, we'll start Mission Possible, which is a series of individual challenges that are problem-based and authentic, and have teachers solving issues or solving problems that are presented through simulations using, of course, Google Apps. This, again, is gamified, and there will be raffle tickets. Each mission will be assigned a point value based on level of difficulty to hopefully meet the needs of all educators in the room, but also give some basic foundational challenges to those who need it, and also stretch your high flyers who really need to be pushed to the next level. At 10:45, we'll take a break from our series of missions to engage in Google speed dating, which will consist of a rotation, 2 minutes each, to share tips, tricks, learning, and questions with one another. And then we'll head back to continue the Mission Possible, where we dive more deeply into solving scenarios with Google Apps. We take a break for lunch, of course, and then at 1 o'clock we'll come back and wrap up Mission Possible before beginning the Google Apps Unconference intro. For those of you who are unfamiliar with unconferences, they are simply unconventional conferences that are totally participant driven. The session content is based on teacher champions' needs and interests with regard to Google Apps. And they will actually create a session board where they can join any session they want, and we'll group off in the room or in breakout rooms so that teachers can engage in learning that's actually meaningful and relevant to where they are skill-wise, interest-wise, and also meet their needs as far as what they teach and where they teach. Finally, after we wrap up the unconference sessions, we will have what's called a smackdown, where we will share major takeaways. So it's pretty much just a speedy share out of meaningful learning that they've taken from the 2-day on-site training. And we will wrap up with a fun raffle drawing, and of course close out and talk about follow-up. And like I mentioned, we would talk about the Google Online training that Google offers on their site, as well as teacher certification and our follow-up hangout hours that we will have in the following months. As you can see on the left here, we've really grounded our 2-day Google training in adult learning theory. It's gamified, it's problem-based, and it's participant-driven. We're focused on developing instructional coaches, like I mentioned, who will actually drive Google adoption in schools and lead other teachers in adopting Google tools. In addition to discussion about instructional coaching, you'll see that we've modeled practices throughout, like the smackdown, for instance, or the speed dating, where teachers can actually take those practices back to lead teachers in their own buildings to develop their skills in Google as well. And finally, we wanted to mention again that we provide level 1 vouchers for each participant who is involved, each teacher champion, for them to take the level 1 certification exam through Google. And the all-inclusive package is $8,500. That includes all travel and expenses, so there are no unexpected costs for Mobile Mind. And that's about it. That wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much, Mobile Mind team. I really appreciate the overview of your offerings. I want to put up the short link once more for our shared doc. There were a couple of questions I was taking a look at, which we'll address, but wanted to give a couple more seconds in case you still haven't had a chance to jot down the link. It's goo.gl/W, capital Y, lowercase m, lowercase t, capital R, capital T. We're still working out at Google how to best create a short link, but just a reminder, that's a case-sensitive link. Let me hop out really quickly and jump into the Q&A doc. I did see that someone had a question about if we would have PDF copy of the slides available. The best thing would be to do is just to follow up with Tracy and myself. Our email addresses are listed at the bottom of the shared doc. You can see those here, tracy@mobilemind.co. That's TRACEE at mobilemind.co. And Brent, mine is Sarver, just my last name, SARVER @google.com. Other than that, I didn't see any other questions. If you would like, if you have any questions now, please feel free to enter those, and we'll respond to you immediately. Otherwise, Tracy, do you and the Mobile Mind team have anything that you'd like to add at this point?
Nothing else to add. We really do appreciate everybody's time today. We will be following up with everyone individually via email and likely through a telephone call as well. So we're very excited to talk to you. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I just want to send a thank you out as well to those of you who joined. Again, we can't stress enough how proud we are of our impact in education, but wanting to continue to work with our professional development partners, our certified innovators, trainers, level 1 and level 2 certified educators, to make sure that technology isn't being brought into the classroom just for technology's sake, that we're actually bringing it in transformative and meaningful ways. So we appreciate all of the hard work that each of you do day in and day out to work for the success of our students and their future. And please know that we are here to help. Again, feel free to reach out to Tracy or myself if you have questions or want to discuss further customized professional development. And yeah, just know that we are here to help. So thanks again for your time, and we hope you have a wonderful afternoon.